What's up there? How you doing today? And welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Guys, in today's video I'll tell you top 10 careers in Canada. Canadian careers for 2020 that will be on demand. And this video is going to be useful for people who are planning to change their career path in 2020. Those people who are planning to immigrate into Canada and are doing their permanent residency right now. And for anyone who is planning to study, because I just realized in analytics that lots of people are on this channel are my age approximately, and lots of them are students. Guys, I want to show you, this is Canada. This is beautiful. Like, it's mist, it's cold, there is like a smoke coming out from my mouth when I speak. And check this out, like it was snowing, then it was raining, and it was raining with ice yesterday. And this is, like, check this pine, it has snow and like ice on top of it. This is so cool, guys. This is Canada. It's actually getting really dark right now. It's like getting dark by 4 p.m. right now. It's winter. So let's talk a little bit about careers. Number one on the list. Well, guys, I know a secret. This careers, the list, it's not in priority sequence. It's just a list. So make sure you watch it till the end, because there's not like a best job to do or worst job. It's just a list of 10 career ways you can go. Well, first of all, I'm in Alberta, Calgary. Construction and trade industry is huge here. And in fact, I've been talking to some guys, immigrants to Canada, and I was working in construction at the beginning myself. And I'll tell you this, unlike like majority of Canada, Alberta is really good in construction. I mean really, guys, you can make tons of money. For example, electricians are averaging up closer to $35 per hour. Industrial electrician is like $37 per hour. All I'm saying is that if you're an electrician in Canada, you're making good money. You can have your own business. You can pull up permits with the city. Basically in Canada you're not allowed to do anything unless you have a permission from the city for renovations, and everything has to be up to the code. I mean, there are certain legislational requirements for you, like for example, they say electrical sockets have to be like 2 feet off the ground. So electricians, they have a special school, they have special training, they all know all of these kind of things, and you already shouldn't be doing any repairs on electrical without electrician anyways. And they get a license basically after they do some work, and if you want your insurance to cover, even if you're like, so your house doesn't burn down, you go to an electrician, and they have that kind of a monopoly here to have their own business, and they charge a lot of money and they make good money. Lots of immigrants give up their engineering jobs, their doctorates, their PhDs, and they just do that, and they do it very well. Basically, electricians, they average up closer to like $80,000 per year. Some make a little bit less if they don't want to work full-time. Some people make way more because they are doing it as their own business, but averaging up closer to 80,000. Now, you would be amazed now if I say that Aerospace Engineer guys, those guys in Canada, engineers in aerospace, it's like complicated, right? Those guys are starting closer to like $85,000 per annum salary, and it's another career path that developing and it's constantly growing. Engineers are always in need, and it's good news for all of my subscribers, because I actually have a lot of engineers guys on this channel watching this video, so it's gonna be interesting for you. And of course, guys, if you want, I'll make a video on universities in Canada if you are planning to study for aerospace engineering, because there is a bunch of them. I'll just say one of those universities that comes to mind is University of Toronto, because they have a really good school for that one. And yes, this video is not sponsored by University of Toronto. Next one on the list would be a software engineer. Guys, Canada is one of the world's leading countries, most developed countries in the world. And if you have seen my video where I'm asking, is Canada a developing country, you do understand I'm just doing a constructive criticism in it, and I'll make it as a pop-up just above this comment, so you can watch that video if you wish to. Guys, it is a developed country, and it's growing rapidly and leading the world, and everything goes electronic, and software engineers are always in demand in this country, even though many companies are trying to outsource this kind of profession to another countries, but they are always searching for someone here, and they're always in demand, and they don't have enough software engineers. So it is, you are going to be making closer to $81,000 in average as a but it's a good paying job. $81,000 is quite a lot if you're not a manager though. Next profession on the list would be a physiotherapy assistant. I'll tell you this, guys, lots of people here, especially senior guys, people need assistance, they need like help at home, as you know, because they cannot, due to certain disabilities, circumstances, they cannot do everything by themselves, and there is a huge demand always for physical therapy assistants. Usually lots of people coming from a certain part of the world. Now I don't want to go into details, you probably know if you live in Canada what I'm talking about, but lots of people go specifically for that role because it's really popular and they're aware of this. Now you're also aware, regardless of where you are watching this channel, people are coming here to help other people to move around the house, and they make basically to live comfortably and as anybody else. They're making closer to, not as much as engineers of course, because you don't really need much qualifications for it. All you need is a good natured personality and willing to help out other people. There are even volunteers who are helping out people for free, but in average, of course, people are charging money, and it's closer to $35,000 per annum. By the way, check this river out. Like, I'm thinking of, should I go on that ice or should I not go on the ice? Should I come below? I'm a daredevil, guys. I'm going on the ice. Ooh, good thing I'm here by myself. Guys, I'll tell you this. Next one would be, I hope I'm not going to need one, a family physician. Canada, it's very difficult to find a family doctor, and family physicians are always in demand. Like, I don't know why, but the healthcare services, it's like the most, like if you want a lot of money, go into healthcare. Like if you're just money oriented, or if you're a person who really wants to help other people out, I would say go for it if you're really into it. You don't just go for the money. It's lots of studying, lots of work, and if you do something your entire life that you hate doing and you're just doing it for the money, it's not a good thing, guys. They make closer to $185,000 per annum. That's a lot of money. Like this is, I'm talking like some, ooh, should I be going in this ice even? I don't know. Just let's go. Like managers, not every manager is going to make this much of money. Not every, you know, like, not every CEO, you know, I'm trying to say CEO and my brain is saying search engine optimization. Oh my god, I see, oh my god. Guys, it's a lot of money if you're willing to help out people. And if you're into healthcare, Canada really always, for many years, or decades now, sorry, they need more physicians here, always. Alright guys, next profession would be a welder. You know how much welders are making in Canada? Well, they make closer to $67,000, and if it's in Alberta, of course, they're making more again. It's a tough job, and it's one of those jobs that immigrants give up their education for it, because, you know, to get that kind of money in Canada, you have to get into like management role, or you have to be in a very good company. Whereas a welder, you can be self-employed and you can make same amount of money plus all the freedom that comes with it. And actually, I'll say this, guys, overall in Canada again, it's a little bit less than in Alberta. In Alberta, as a welder, you make way more money. I would say closer to $80,000, because it's tough and it's really always in demand. And even when I was planning to immigrate to Canada, when I was thinking about immigrating to Canada, maybe about 15 years ago, I've been here for 7 years now, but when I was looking into it 15 years ago, they were in demand and people were saying you have to be a welder if you want to immigrate to Canada. And now still the same situation didn't change. So if it is there, it means people just don't want to do it, and people are always searching for welders here in Canada, and it's something you might want to consider unless you want to go and do some engineering degree or become a doctor or a software engineer or something interesting, guys. Next occupation, guys, would be a business management consultant. I'm talking Ernst & Young, I'm talking KPMG, and I'm talking those people who have their own clients and their own companies. If you're good into consulting, you probably know that it's one of those jobs that gets you to travel a lot. You have to fly to Toronto, Montreal, you have to travel all over the Canada, or even the United States of America if you have to go there. For lots of traveling, very less personal life, guys, and it pays a lot. I'm talking $115,000 per annum. That's how much business management consultants get on average. I'll tell you this, I've been interested in consulting. In fact, I almost went to KPMG at one point. And I'll tell you this, guys, every consultant I know, and I know quite a few, they said, don't do it. You are not going to have a family, work-life balance. It's going to be only work, work, work. You'll be away from home for many days and not seeing your loved ones. But they all say one thing. It definitely pays a lot. You start closer on an entry level as a consultant, closer to $60,000 per annum. You work a lot, but once you get into a higher ups, it goes way beyond 100,000, 150, and if you're in the management, you get closer to 150 and $200,000 per annum. That's consulting. Pays a lot, but you sacrifice a lot as well. But if it's something you like, you watched all those movies, flying the airlines, staying in expensive hotels, and having some booze with your clients, well, maybe that's something you want to consider. Next occupation, guys, would be a college instructor. You know, guys, college instructors in Canada, they make quite a lot of money. They are making closer to $90,000 per annum. It does require a lot of strain. It's a really interesting job. You get to communicate with the students. And the good part is, lots of those people who are professors in Canada right now, they are getting close to their retirement age. And they're getting way over their 50s right now. What it means is that it's going to be in demand. It's kind of creepy here, guys. Like, there's no people. I'm alone in the middle of the forest. Anyways, let's go. I'm Ukrainian. I don't care. I'm going to scare off Canadian animals because they're going to be saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your vlog, but can I just eat you alive?" I'm just joking, guys. In a Canadian manner. You know, I scared myself, guys. Basically, professors, they make good money, but you know, to become a professor is very challenging. You have to show your history of working for some company because they want a real life experience, not something that you get like in Ukraine. We have professors who have been professors forever. They graduated from university and they never left it. They went to do their masters, they went to do their doctorate, and then they became professors. And since then, hey, they have never seen their real life business, and yet they teach business for the past 40 years. It's not always like that in Canada. From what I heard from my professors here, all of them worked somewhere, and lots of them even achieved something significant throughout their career before they went to school, and the school is something they really do enjoy. Guys, I finally took off from the water there. I don't want to fall into water. It's too cold right now. Truck drivers is the next occupation. I've been in the logistics industry since my entire stay in Canada. I worked with so many truck drivers. Probably half of the drivers in Calgary, probably one way or another. Maybe I'm exaggerating half, but I'm telling you, probably a couple of hundreds of drivers already know me, because at a certain point we communicated between each other, and I changed many companies and I worked with many drivers, and I even go to a different place now and I see a driver that I know or they know me, and it's really small world, Canada. How much do they make? Closer to $60,000 per annum averaging, but that amount can go a little bit less or way more than that, depending on which kind of trucks you drive, which kind of company you're working for, and what's your license limitation. Like if you're driving for some like a school bus, you don't make much. If you're driving for the city as their bus, you make a little bit more, right? But if you're a long-haul driver, owner-operator, you make a lot of money. And I know lots of people in Punjab, India, they have like a pop culture, like go move to Canada, become a truck driver. And lots of them do. They start businesses and they do an amazing job and actually do get quite a lot of money. They buy houses, they buy BMWs, and they buy Lexus cars. And they work a lot, of course. No kidding about it. Guys, before we get to the last occupation on the list, I want to tell you this. I started a conversation with one of my co-workers about the job search, and basically what had happened is I was introduced to a team of people who are doing resumes, and they charge money for it, of course, but the reviews is that lots of people that I know that went to those guys, they actually got better jobs. There is no upgrade on education, nothing special, nothing different from what they do or what they know. It's just that how those professionals put it onto the paper, how they put it into the resume. And it increases their chances and increases how professional it looks, and they actually do get jobs. And they got jobs, people who've been making $40,000 per annum start making $60,000, and those people who are getting closer to $50,000 with same skills, same experience, everything, better resume, they scored a job with $70,000. Guys, they're making $15,000 or $20,000 more per year than they used to make. And I just want to find out all the details, and I actually want to make a cooperation with those guys, because I know lots of guys, you guys on this channel, either you're in Canada. I suck in writing my own resume. I'm good on the interview, and always I always had, I'll tell you this, guys, a secret here, giving away my secret. I always asked other people to look at my resume, and even consulted people to get it looking better, because whenever I put it on a paper by myself, they don't call me after that. I don't know why. So that's what, guys, I want to bring up to the table, and I'll leave a link in the description, and it's going to be on the link in the end of this video as well, on my website with all the tariffs and everything. Those guys, they do help you get a better job in Canada. And if you are coming to Canada and you have no idea how to write a Western Standard resume, and I'll tell you this, unless you want to go and take special courses, just go to those professionals and they'll help you out. Guys, next one, occupation. Finally, it's going to be a registered nurse. Nurses are basically in Canada, guys, they are doing all the work. Doctors are there to shake the hand and charge you money, and nurses are doing all the dirty job. Like, you know, they do everything there in the hospitals, and they make closer to over $100,000, so $115,000, $120,000, which is like a senior management position in other companies. But it's a nurse, it's just a nurse, it's not a manager. And that's how much money they make here in Canada. Of course, doctors are making 2 or 3 times more than a nurse, but it's always in demand here, and it's always growing. And again, just like a welder, about 15 years ago, when I first looked into immigrating to Canada, nurses were there. Nurses are always in demand, and it has not been changing for many years, and trends are they're still in demand even for 2020. And Canadian population is growing, immigrants are coming, and we need more healthcare professionals. We are always in need of healthcare professionals here, and 2020 is no different. So if you want to get a secure job, out of all professions I mentioned here, probably the easiest to get would be a nurse. You still have to study for it, you have to pass the exams, but you don't have to become a doctor, you don't have to study like engineers do. It's easier to get to, and it's a lot of money, guys. It's something you should consider. By the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Check out the link, guys, that I'm going to leave to the resumes. And also, have you watched my video about top 10 easiest jobs to get in Canada? Make sure you watch this video next, because it's going to be really helpful for those of you guys who just want to grab a job as soon as they are here in Canada. And we'll see you soon, guys. Bye for now. See you soon.